I'm muting myself rather than unmuting myself. Apologies. Hello, folks. Welcome to Telling Tales. It's always a thing, Matt, because when you start on the stream, and my camera's now not liking me. When you start on the stream, when you start on the stream, it unmutes you, but sometimes it feels like it's not unmuted you fast enough. When you race it and you press the mute button, and anyway. Welcome to Thursday Night Wicked Ones with Telling Tales. I am Sam, the GM for tonight, and I will get us into Telling Tales in a moment, Wicked Ones in a moment. But first of all, let's do the Telling Tales intro. We are a tabletop RPG channel. We do dark fantasy role plays and other bits and bobs. Quite a lot of fantastical, wonderful sci-fi and all sorts in there as well. We've been doing them for like 3-something years now, I think, if I remember correctly. And we stream them on Twitch here, and we also do it on YouTube. We'll put it up on YouTube after the fact. So check out the other of those if you haven't seen them. All of our stuff is below, like Discord and Patreon, if you feel lovely, like you want to support us, which we very much appreciate. And lots of other things to go check out down there. And yeah, we do obviously this on Thursdays. This is every other Thursday. The other Thursday slots, different bits and bobs. At the moment, we're finishing off the Big Wet with Pierre running that, which might have another couple of sessions in. It's been a lot of fun, kind of dying worlds, drowning worlds, very cool. Simba Room, our kind of flagship series, is running forever, just forever, all eternity. That is on Wednesday nights. I don't know if it's on next week, but no, someone can have me. And Monday at the moment is me running Warhammer, which is a lot of fun. Warhammer Fantasy, TTRPG. There are also one-shots every month-ish, sort of. The next one of those is this Saturday, I believe, which will be at 3 p.m. GMT. That's going to be a Troika session, a return to Troika, in fact, because we have done Troika once before. It might have been the very first one-shot we did, or it was one of the first. Maybe it was the second one-shot we did, something like that. And yes, it's been confirmed. Simba Room is on next week. Just finishing off the Witchhammer arc, which is very exciting. Anyway, that's enough intro from me. Let's get into some Wicked Ones, shall we? So, Wicked Ones, fantastic system based on Forged in the Dark, Blazed in the Dark, kind of progenitor system. Very simple D6 successes, blah blah blah. And kind of, we were chatting about this beforehand a bit. Lots of stuff with preparing via kind of flashbacks and, lots of narrative control for the players, although we struggle with that sometimes. But you play a system how you want to play it, right? Don't complain at us for not playing the game properly. I'm not going to listen. Anyway, so the players are playing horrible, awful people, creatures living in a dungeon, doing terrible things to this world that we've created together in session 0. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. Without further ado, let's bring on Chris, who's going to give us a bit of an intro as to what's been going on and the previous session. Hey, Chris, how you
doing? So maybe a quick overview about the game world we built, because it's ridiculous. So we play the titular Wicked Ones, a group of homeless or disenlayered enemies from a dungeon a long while ago, who are kind of just a little bit a cut above the rest in terms of conniving and evil and intelligence. And we found our way to this far to the north in this delightful little kind of, I suppose, valley, perhaps would be the best way to put it. In that valley, there are a range of other kind of factions, two and a half really big settlements, along with some unusual denizens in the forest, and we basically kind of found a little spot sort of right in the middle of them, which turned out to be a kind of an ancient place of power that we decided to use as well. People wanted to use it as a temple and is working hard to use it as a temple, but everyone else has got different plans for it.
So this is the world we created together.
Yeah, so there it is on the map. You can see we are kind of right in the center middle, just below Riverton. We should probably put a wee star on the map, or maybe a skull.
Yeah, some sort of evil symbol. Clearly, maybe one of the faces of your imps. Well, that doesn't sound very evil because they're quite cute.
But to set up kind of for one of the first major things we've been planning, we had a couple of bumps and disruptions along our way to getting established, but we were established in our first major kind of calculated, here's what we're going to do, event has been to pick on the wizards in the east there, written down in our documentation as the shitty wizards. They are an enclave of aloof and generally quite terrible wizards with ancient lore around them, but very little actual practical skill. And we figured it would be a good idea because 2L means they're lawful, but they're only level 2, so they're ripe for the picking. So after stealing a boat and various other bits and pieces, we sailed across to their tower one bright moonlit night, after Beepo had quite cleverly, even I do say so myself, done a ritual to make them think that the end was indeed nigh and to throw them into disarray and panic them.
It was pretty clever. And you managed to do it despite heavy distraction as well, which was very impressive. It's worth saying, I know you just pointed that out briefly, but just to explain, it's light, dark, and neutral. Although it's not lawful, but it's similar. It doesn't mean good. It's just kind of grouping factions into light and dark. And that's what the L, D, N, and the number, as Chris kind of vaguely pointed out there, is the strength, basically. So a 1 is just a few merchants, where a 4 is like a heavily garrisoned, fortified town, if you can imagine that.
So I can continue to, do you want to go into the rest of the session then?
Go for it. So what happened, because we're halfway through a raid at the moment, so if you want to describe what happened in the first half of that raid, effectively.
Well, the group kind of Beepo possessed with their general fervor and vim for all things violence, kind of jumped right off the boat and charged for the tower. Meanwhile, our journeyman necromancer tried to raise the dead, succeeded, but I think raised the wrong kind of dead because they turned out they weren't exactly under his control. And therefore, Osric and Tereth were stuck on the boat for like 4,000 turns trying to deal with the wages of their own hubris. However, everyone else, by one means or another, managed to get inside the tower. Beepo climbed up the latrine, and Slee kind of went in a window very coolly, if memory serves.
It was a bit less cool when the person inside was screaming and had to be thrown out the window, but it was still fairly cool.
I think they had a better time than the one I found on top of the toilet I climbed up. But there was kind of a running melee as both of the two kind of flanks attempted to reunite. But Beepo also ran into what they can only assume is a creature of quite some competence, some kind of adventurer wizard who seems to actually understand how to do stuff, and nearly caught Beepo a cropper by manifesting Malawa, Beepo's goddess, the goddess of knowledge and secrets, and almost caught Beepo out.
Indeed. Yes, I think probably one of the first significant opponents you've met, given everyone else up to this point. Certainly the wizards in this tower have just been fleeing in terror, apparently based on this ritual you initiated. Yeah, cool. That was a good little summary. It's worth saying as well, the group are actually here to raid knowledge and books effectively, because they've unearthed a library. Well, the library is their tier, the high tier room, the tier 3 room in their dungeon they're trying to build, but you need to complete a raid to get things to complete those rooms. Excellent. Thank you very much, Chris. Let's bring on John. Maybe we can switch off the map now. We probably had enough. Bring us back up. Sorry, I realize I bring you on and you're controlling the cameras, so it's just all the things for you.
It's fine. I'm famously great at multitasking. So.
It's all good. That reminds me. I forgot to say the thing, and it's just skip back a bit. This is Wicked Ones. This is the dark system, brutal murder and stuff going to happen. Just to let you know, warnings for horribleness and murder and potentially sneaky stabbing in the back, as you probably expect. But just want to warn people. Anyway, John, Slee, why don't you introduce Slee for us?
Slee is a Slissock, which is a type of legged, limbed snake person. And they are a shadow, which is this world's term for basically a rogue. And they seem to have a great affinity for climbing up things and jumping down from things and eating people mostly.
Sometimes spitting poison in faces too. That's been quite useful.
Yes, that's been quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Slee, as far as they were aware, was doing one of the sort of pincer attacks and was opening the door to let Osric's like melee allies in, and then the allies started attacking Slee. So either Osric has gone rogue, or he's a terrible sorcerer, and Slee's got an opinion on which one it is.
Well, we'll let you. I was planning on starting with the line we finished on last time because it was such a perfect delivery that it seems like an excellent run into the RPG.
I wish I could remember what it was.
Well, we can approximate. It's fine. Cool. Should we bring up Steve then?
Yeah.
Steve playing Tereth. Do you want to introduce Tereth for us, Steve?
Hello. So Tereth is a demon conniver. Yes, he doesn't spit poison in people's faces. He just talks about them meanly, either behind their back or in front of their face. That's fine.
So mean, Tereth. Such a big meanie.
So yes, I have been struggling actually with Tereth finding himself in these particular situations, not necessarily being the most physically proactive, but as I've said before, why have a dog and bark yourself?
That's true. I do quite like Tereth's mechanic because your thing is a lot of the time is the reroll as well. So I do quite like Tereth's mechanic of just being at the back and occasionally going, no, not like that. Remember how I told you? And that seems to be a lot of what Tereth is doing in the game.
Yes,
which is very charming.
Sort of snide support class, I think is.
They remember Tereth's tellings of. And finally, let's bring on Sam. Sam, who plays Osric, the very successful sorcerer. Perhaps too successful. You're muted, Sam. On something. That might be helpful.
I looked at my screen. I was like, I'm not muted.
Amazing.
That does help. Microphone.
I think you'll find in future, Sam, if you put your.
Next time, Sam will be here holding the microphone, but without headphones.
I can't hear you.
For anyone who watched both this stream and the Symbarim stream last night, we need to make sure Matt doesn't see this one because we were taking the piss out of Matt for about 10 minutes straight for his terrible intro, and then Sam just pulled this.
Oh, this is perfect.
It's ironic. It's fine.
Well, like Osric, I also never make mistakes or annoy anyone. So just powerful and good and flawless in every way.
Perfect necromancer demon. What can we say? That's pretty much it. Yeah, just absolutely perfect. Speaking of perfect, why don't we start up exactly where we left off with Beepo and Slee. Actually, I wanted to say, Chris, do you want to give us a really brief intro to Beepo specifically as well? Because we did skip over.
Oh yes, so Beepo is your friendly neighborhood, completely unhinged occult kobold who is starting a cult to the goddess of knowledge, taking it very seriously, and but also unhinged, unsafe around any living creatures.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, Slee and Beepo are inside the tower. Beepo also has his little gang of kobolds with us. And Tereth and Osric are just outside this wizard's tower. I think that, if I remember correctly, the skeletons are no longer going for you. They've all come inside. Yeah, I think that's right. There was one outside.
There was one. There was one on the boat.
What happened to that one?
There was one. Yeah.
Because you're not still fighting the one on the boat. If I remember correctly, you'd made it to shore, hadn't you? Or are you still on the boat?
No, we're still on the boat. You see, I should be lying to you. I should be saying yes, Sam.
Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what happened to that one. So, okay, so there's. Yeah, I have it right here in front of me. One skeleton fighting Osric and Tereth that you've done nothing to, and two fighting the kobolds in the stairway. Okay, so Osric and Tereth are still on the boat outside with one skeleton now fighting Tereth, if I remember correctly, because Tereth bravely leaped in to stop Osric's eyes getting gouged out. And because you thought that Osric was doing a ritual to desummon them, which Osric was trying to do with no effect. Meanwhile, Beepo and Slee are just up the stairs in this tower. near the ground floor. Most of the wizards have fled, but there still seems to be this mysterious mage upstairs. You are slightly behind the kobolds, who are slightly further down the stairs, who just managed to beat one of the skeletons into a bony pulp. But they've come fleeing back up the stairs because there's 2 more skeletons bearing down on them. And Slee, you now say...
I honestly can't remember the exact words.
It's fine.
I think Osric's gone rogue.
Upstairs.
Okay, the kobolds will have no problem with this. They're already charging up the stairs. So all of you just run up the stairs. Skeletons aren't as fast as you, so I think fairly quickly you're making good progress. I will come back to you in a moment. I want to find out what's going on in this boat, first of all. What are you doing with the skeleton that's on the boat?
So remind me, how
sure are we?
Not far. Maybe like 20 feet.
how many skeletons are there remaining?
3. 2 in the tower. 2. Well, you think you don't know how many there are in the tower. They've all gone in. So there were 3 that went in the tower, and there's 1 with you.
Okay. So this is where I'm going to ask questions about the limitations of flashbacks. So
Page in the book.
So Tereth, Tereth is kind of aware of Osric's mutability in terms of sort of necromantic abilities. I don't know. So I think Tereth. So here's a question: in terms of a flashback, would it be possible for Tereth to have gone off and in the background, without Osric's knowledge, studied some sort of anti-magic sort of obliterator, just sort of whoops, everything's fucked up spell that
because you have 2 potentially quite magical creatures around you. Conniver. I'm looking in the conniver section to see what it suggests connivers might do with their flashbacks. You can
That's definitely within.
You can flashback to things a conniver would have thought to do, such as manipulating others, setting up a contingency plan, or requiring. Yeah, this sounds contingency planning to me. I think that's justified.
Lovely. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes things a lot easier. Contingency plans. I will remember that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think this actually gives you quite a lot of flexibility for playing Terrace as well, doesn't it? Because you can imagine Terrace already thought of 5 different ways this could have gone wrong, and then it goes wrong, and you're like, Terrace thought of this.
Plan B, plan Q. Yes. So yeah, I mean Tereth isn't magical particularly, but it's worth a go, I suppose. Whether it's a straight sort of casting, because can any class cast magic like at level 1? Is it only?
I have that impression.
I think level 1 is doable by anyone. Yeah, it's only the higher levels that you can't without being a warlock or zealot, I think. I would also be willing to give you... Do you think this is something you would talk to Beepo or Osric about, or you're keeping entirely to yourself? I'm asking because I will give you a bonus if you're willing to talk to them about it, but that means you have to talk to them about it.
Oh, there's a it would be quite conniving to talk about Osric behind his back, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe just after he's annoyed Beepo. You stroll in after Osric's had that really irritating session.
That makes sense.
That's beautiful.
Can we flash back to that scene? I really want to see that.
Sure.
Osric's just walked out. Beepo's furious, having the ritual nearly entirely interrupted. Or maybe after the ritual. Maybe Terrace waited politely until that ritual's completed.
I like it. So yes, I'll tell that sort of Beepo is just sort of fuming, hopping mad. Beepo, I wonder if I might, if now's a good time, of course, just have a quick word with you. I'd like your advice, if I may. I think it might be in both our best interests.
Like a good scheme. What do you need?
Well, I really want our work here to be successful. You know, the sorts of problems we had in the past with, failures of communication and a breakdown in trust and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be honest with you. I do have a slight concern about. Well, Osric is talented, but sometimes I feel that he might be sort of overstepping the. He's very enthusiastic. He sometimes just goes a little bit too far, and I want us to be successful. I was just wondering whether there's possibly a way, if the worst happens, that
Say no more. One bomb coming up. People kind of scuffles off into the corner and tears a couple of pages out of a book and just starts kind of scribbling kind of runes and stuff on, and then kind of scampers away for about 5 seconds and comes back with a holy symbol and starts wrapping bits of the crumpled up bits of paper with like demonic writing on them, and wraps it up and goes, "This should get rid of necromantic creatures. Still unholy though, I promise you."
Excellent. That's wonderful. That will help us all out, I'm sure.
I'm going to give you 2 bonus dice. One because you sought people's help, and another one because this is just Big Mouth. You've just gone, that guy's crap. Well, I don't like him. We need to stop. This is just Big Mouth. So you get 2 bonus dice.
Cool. I do need to spend a stress for invoking a flashback, which I shall do.
Yes, you do, yeah.
This is 2 bonus dice for the anti-magic. So essentially, I guess if we're ready to flash forward back to the future, that sounds familiar.
Does it work effectively? Are you throwing the explosive device at said skeleton?
Yes. Just after saying, Osric, I really need to have a word with you about this later on. So what skill is this? I guess, invoke, maybe?
Yeah, invoke, yeah.
I have 0 points in invoke, but I have 2 bonus dice. So
yes. So it's a 1 pointer. Oh, I really want to give you another Big Mouth for saying that to Osric as well. The sheer fury of the moment. Is that me being too kind? But the thing is, you've got Beepo's help, which I think makes it much more likely it's going to work. So take another bonus dice. That seems justified to me in this situation.
4, 4, 3.
That mixed success. Okay, so
okay, that's not okay.
Yeah, mixed because 4 and 5 are mixed.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is this is going to destroy the skeleton, but before it does, it's going to attack one of you. I'm going to roll to find out which one. It's going to attack Osric. So the skeleton, basically, the grenade goes off. It's a mix, so I describe it. It's fine. I'm not over-describing. I always have to catch myself doing this. So as you throw it at the skeleton, it lands basically directly at its feet. It just starts melting, like the bones start just turning into like liquid and goes, but it flails out and sort of drags itself towards Osric. And before you can get out of the way, Osric, it's going to strike at you. Are you going to resist?
Yes, I'm going to resist.
Okay.
I have to spend stress to resist, right?
Yes. You roll, and it might cost you stress or not.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Can I roll invoke to get a kind of magical?
Given this is an undead you're interacting with, I think that makes sense. Actually, even though you're not controlling it, you're still like necromantic forces are working, and that's what you're trying to combat. So yeah.
Okay. I'll do my best. My invoke is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 6.
Yes. So that means you it costs you a stress, but you completely prevent, if I remember correctly. If someone could just double check the rules for me on that would be handy. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Don't know with me now. So you use the kind of, you don't have control over the creature, but you can still kind of feel necromantic forces within it, and you can effectively hold its movement back by focusing on that arm reaching out for you with the sword, and it kind of just hesitates in midair and then starts melting in front of you.
Okay. Have I seen Terra throw this bomb at the skeleton?
Well, you obviously said that thing to Osric. Were you being obvious about throwing terrors, or were you being quite stealthy about that?
I was obvious. I don't think I'd try to hide it.
I think Osric will, having survived, will turn in shock to Terra. Like, what was that?
Exactly what we needed at this moment in time.
I didn't
No.
know you could do that kind of magic.
Oh, I don't need to tell you everything, do I?
Well, it seems like mission critical information. You're a powerful mage destroying my skeletons.
I like to imagine Tereth is actually chuckling.
Yes.
Presumably, you row the boat towards the shore at this point.
Yes, as long as it's not on fire or partially sinking or.
No, the boat is still sound. I think the boiling bubble of skeleton goop has not melted the boat.
Cool,
It seems to be
lovely.
only affecting necromantic creatures. Maybe Osric doesn't want to step in. I don't know. I feel like he's probably a little bit necromantic at this point. Back inside the tower, Slee and Beepo. I want Beepo to make me a roll of. Why is it so difficult to find what the basic skills are in this game? There we go. Scan, because you have been up the tower before. Actually, you could roll trick if you wanted, if that's better.
Literally unable to activate even the most simple of electronic devices at the minute. Trick is 0, scan is 1. I will take that 1 dice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 4.
Okay. Slee, you feel like you've been going up this tower for a little while. Beepo, you realize this isn't the same way you came, but there's only one staircase.
That's the bloody wizard.
Oh, Osric.
No, the competent wizard. Check for side doors.
What competent wizard? What?
The one up the tower. The dangerous trickster creature, illusionist.
Thought they were all supposed to be shit. I'll start
This one is not.
scanning for side doors.
Now you're thinking about it, you realize there's no side doors at all. In fact, this doesn't really make sense. It seems like it's just a big spiraling staircase with stone walls on the outside and nothing else. It's kind of unsettling, but you didn't realize for a moment.
We've been gazooped. I'll call back my kobolds, maybe. Retrace our steps or blow our way out. Who am I kidding? I think Beepo's going to... I don't know how anti-magic works, but Beepo's going to try and invoke the Dark Goddess to brute force their way out of this illusion, or what they assume is this illusion. Maybe I'm about to blow a hole in the side of the tower.
Describe to me how I can see how dark secrets would affect the minds of people, but describe to me how you imagine secret and terrible knowledge is affecting an illusion itself to break out. I can imagine. I'm just curious how you imagine this playing out.
I thoroughly. I thought my little spell the other week was great fun, so I'm going to do roughly the same thing, but maybe in another way. First, I'm going to go to Slee and go, look away! You're not to see this.
Slee will look away, cover their face, and then...
Slee, as you turn to look away, you also notice those skeletons are getting rather close behind you.
How close?
Maybe 20 seconds away.
Okay, I'll start panicking in about 15.
Slee's going to You know that game where you put your hand on when you're very young, you put all your hands on top of each other and do that and that. He's going to get all the kobolds together and they're going to start doing that. But then eventually, somehow, you're not quite sure. One of the hands is on sideways, but also on top, and it doesn't quite make sense because I just broken 3-dimensional space. And
Okay, I like it.
And then after all, we just go and fingers crossed, break through whatever this wretched enchantment is.
I like that, given a goddess of the real truth and all. That kind of makes sense to me. Go on then. Give me a, I guess. Is it going to be another occult roll? Probably. Or what's it called? Invoke. Yeah. You are muted. But I did get the gist of that statement.
No, the thing is, I haven't rolled it yet. I've just realized that my invoke is 2. Unfortunately, it's guts, and I have a double malice on guts. So technically, my invoke is 0.
Well, you have your kobold allies who are helping. I don't know if they have. What's their invoke? Do they have any?
Oh, please tell me you've got. No, they took threaten instead of invoke, which made sense at the time. But I do have 1 dark heart, and I think I'm going to spend that.
Okay.
To just make sure I'm rolling not at disadvantage. Oh God. 5. I'll take a 5.
Okay, that's all right.
Were those malices from being shocked, or were they from something else?
Yes, one of them was from being shocked, and the other one was from my ritual invocation. Was actually did not go well.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Well, the one from shock disappears after your next roll, I think.
But it has to be my next roll in the school of the.
Oh, it does. Yes,
you're absolutely right. It does.
So it disappears now, but
it will
not.
disappear after this. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. There's so many little bits to the rules like that, aren't there? You totally forget. Yeah. So you were attempting to break down this whole illusion. That does not happen. However, that everything around you stays the same. But Beepo, you realize that the wall just to your side, which you could just reach out and touch, is actually a door. There's a door there, even though it does not look like it.
Beepo's just going to dart in through the door and pull and kind of like visually pull everyone in behind them.
It's a weird experience, Lee, if you go through that door. I'm assuming you are.
I am, even though I totally promised I wasn't watching, and therefore shouldn't know what's going on. I accidentally stumble through the door.
I love the idea that Beepo is like, visually follow me because Beepo sees Slee like this. Adorable. Yes, you get through the door, no problem. All the kobolds are in there. A few seconds later, the skeletons. Would they be affected by an illusion? Well, I think they saw where you went, so they'd still batter against the door, but probably not with any serious they're about to get through this door sort of force.
I think we'll take the time to appraise the room we have arrived in.
I'm going to make a randomly roll to see what sort of room it is. I think I can probably... Okay, so this is a... I'll tell you what this is. This is a library room. You have stumbled across a number of what look like quite interesting magical books.
Never doubt the goddess. She's brought us knowledge.
Oh, I've got to make another roll too. Sorry, continue.
You can speak the light tongue, Slee, can you not?
No.
Then just pick the fanciest looking book and put it in the bag.
That one.
There's a bright orange-red one that you've pointed at, Slee, which has fire painted on it.
Ooh. Yes, that one.
Make a note of that. That sounds like a cool book I want to remember.
It's also I'm orangey coppery, so I think I picked the one that most looks like me.
Perfect. I guess do you order your kobolds to do the same?
Yeah, I think so. I think Beepo will kind of brace the door just in a sense of duty to the bit, but will send the kobolds off who know their way around occult matters. So fingers crossed that they won't just pick like 7 recipe books and a gardening guide.
A few seconds later, while you're bracing the door, Peepo, the skeletons apparently stop bashing against it, moving away somewhere. You don't know.
I'll have a very close listen for a minute or two before peeking out through the door.
Okay, you hear the skeletons shuffle away along the stairs. You can't tell if it's up or down from a listen. Then I don't think you hear anything else. No, I don't think you hear anything else.
So we'll summon the troops again and go, the skeletons have gone up the tower for more chaos. All is quiet outside.
So we destroy the traitor?
Burn the tower?
There might be other loot upstairs.
There might be other loot upstairs.
There might be other loot downstairs.
Fire goes up, we go down.
Yes. I agree with that.
Okay, back outside. Tereth and Osric, you're pulling the boat up at the tower. You two, I'm going to assume you walk straight in. You see a couple of dead wizards from this kind of little wizard school, and a skeleton that seems to have been thoroughly mashed into pulp and dust. And no signs of anyone else down here.
Another victory for my minions. Osric is going to start inspecting everything in this room that looks even like vaguely out of place, and try to figure out if it's magic or not.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Tereth, what are you doing?
So Tareth would have reached down to sort of look through the bodies of the wizards. So he'll do that for a few seconds, and then as he catches on that Osric is just
Examining a doorknob
through, yes, like I'll just turn around and just stare for a good 15 seconds.
Osric moves from like closely examining and tapping a doorknob with like his ear to it to really looking closely at what appears to be a doorstop.
Osric, are you all right?
We have to find. We're here for these magical artifacts, Tereth. They are hidden amongst the ordinary items in this tower, and we cannot leave any unfound.
How do you know that?
I think Beepo told me.
Osric has shuffled over to another corner and is now sniffing a vase.
His ritual discovered it.
Right. I see. Yes, well, that must be the case, I'm sure. Yes, you carry on. That's I'll just look over here, and I'll leave Osric to it, I think.
Just gonna go upstairs. Perfect. Okay. Well,
Not too far. I'm a little bit concerned about the other skeletons, but yeah, I'll let I don't want to stop Osric from what is clearly really important. And
is your intention to find the others, or just have a little look around here for other treasure?
have a little look around the local area, I think.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, both of you make me a scan. I'm going to give a bit of a caveat to what Sam might find with this scan, but
Excellent.
This is mean.
Well, Osric is just distracting me. I got a 2 and a 3, so I feel...
Yeah, you're just looking at Osric. You're thinking about looking at the things, but actually you're just like,
yeah. I'm lifting up gold bars and things and putting them down again, and I'm just staring at.
Osric appropriately rolled a failure.
Of course. See, the thing is, unless you got anything but a success, if you got a mixed, I was going to be like, you don't find anything useful. Well, you do find things you think are useful to take home. But what is a failure? You don't even succeed in finding anything that is useless. Apparently.
Can I propose a thing?
Yeah, go for it.
He finds a very beaten up, boring looking umbrella stand that's like half the size of him that he obviously thinks is magical. That he has
Perfect.
no way of carrying on his own.
Perfect. This is definitely a thing, Osric.
That's
Tara.
low. That's low, John. That is low. But you are vengeful, I guess. So
Tarath, I need your help. We must get this into the boat.
you're sure?
Can you not tell from just looking at it the magical energies emanating from this?
I will
They were
look at it.
incompetently attempted to hide this, but I can tell easily that it's magical and of great power.
Sarah, you have no doubt that Osric has lost his mind.
Well, if you say it, then it must be true, Osric. Yes, I will help you with this clearly incredibly important task.
Thank you, Jeff. I will share the benefits with you.
So just to clarify, you are carrying this useless, ruined old umbrella stand out to the boat rather than doing anything else in the tower.
You're saying this is
Yes.
as if there's something more important to do?
I think I was asking Tara the question. I know Osric is fully committed to this course of action.
I'm. This is amusing me. So yes.
Oh, okay. We'll go back upstairs then, I guess. After that, all of that action. Beepo and Sleet, are you going out this door, or are you doing more in this room?
One last action here. So we have Slee, you've got the nice book. Beepo's got some books from the kobolds, which he hasn't even bothered. They
Make
haven't
me a
even
scan.
bothered checking yet.
Make me a scan for the kobolds, actually. I'm just curious. You'll still get something with a fail. If you get a good success, you might get better stuff. You can spend the morale if you want to. If they have a morale.
Do they have a morale? Let me see if I've written it down. Right, so my little kobolds, I thought I gave them scan. They do have one scan.
Mm-hmm.
They have no morale listed, so that's a no.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take that. That is a 5.
Nice. Okay, so they have a collection of books, and I'm going to say the majority of them are magical, rather than just one magical, which is why I was going to give you the fail.
So Beepo's going to set them to the side and is going to pile up another load of books and is kind of doing a little, with the kobold sat round, is doing a little impromptu ritual, but it's basically just an invocation and is basically proffering up, oh, Lady Malawa, they have tried to make your knowledge reachable. This knowledge should never be found. No knowledge should be found. Summon across the fires from beyond the realms of darkness and bid this knowledge be banished. And we'll set a little fire in this pile of not the good books, but the other books.
Yep, that's good. I'm happy for this to be a ritual to be very effective, because that's absolutely Malawa-esque to me. Also, can Slee make a scan for me, assuming that you're kind of probably closer to the door, not making so much noise? So if you want to do just a tier 1 ritual, so no negatives for you, Chris, for that. What did we get?
I only rolled a 3, which is a failure.
That's a fail. Yeah. No, don't notice anything.
I apologize. I'm having such problems operating basic websites tonight. I cannot excuse myself. However,
you need these.
What redeems me entirely is the fact that I rolled a 6 on that.
Very good. Okay, so what I'm going to say is all of a sudden this room starts filling with smoke as the books, and only the books, not the ones you're holding, catch on fire. Not the room, just the books. The books individually are burning. And you also hear a shout from above you in shock at that exact moment.
Haha, we got an observer. No time to play. Let's go.
Okay. Tereth and Osric, are you heading back into the tower after dumping this umbrella stand? Or is this it? Your haul is done.
Well, we've got the good loot, right?
Oh God, please.
I can't
Sail away
believe-
now. You don't even need to get these guys.
After everything that's happened, does Tareth really believe anything that Osric says?
No,
That's
not at all.
Oh,
But yeah, Tareth is kind of happy to, for Osric to continue digging this particularly amusing, maybe not grave, just trench.
This is just
I don't know.
entertainment for you now. You're not even here for an objective.
Yeah, I wanted to take the shitty wizards down a peg, but this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
The memories you'll have from this are so much more worthwhile.
So Osric, what next? What lead on?
Well, there must be more. It's a whole tower. They must have many artifacts here. We need to get back in and keep looking, Jared. This is just the start. We may need to make a return trip. I don't know if our boat can hold all that we're going to need to take from this tower.
So much crap.
Oh my god. Tareth will be biting his lip. And yeah, I guess we go back to the tower. And,
I love to imagine Terrace going just fighting with and sniggering, just like under your breath as you pick up useless things. Osric, make me a scan roll.
That's a 1.
it writes itself.
There's one particular flagstone in the floor that's a slightly different shape. It's cemented in, but you really need to get that one out somehow. Oh god.
Gareth, we're on to another one. I'm telling you, this stone, I can feel the power. I can't tell you what we'll be able to accomplish with this in our possession, Tara.
Neither can I.
You're going to have to make a roll to keep it together, I think, at this
God.
point, especially given your big mouth. If you want to roll a trick or something to keep an absolutely straight face to Osric.
Yeah, I'll roll a trick. I rolled a double 6.
React however you like. Oh, I thought we muted, sorry.
Oh my god.
It's the bit that keeps on giving. I might actually expire.
I will.
Sorry, Sal.
I will look, earnestly at Osric and say, "Well, it just so happens I came prepared, and I will take a poker out of my that I think I liberated from the vampire's residence." And I'll sort of look up towards the tower, and I'll say, I wonder what our colleagues are doing, and then start sort of levering the stone with the poker.
Perfect. Hopefully they found some similar items. Must be good for something.
Beepo and Slee, are you heading downstairs now, presumably having grabbed a decent handful of books and burning the rest?
Yeah, I think first, I want to poke my head out the door and see if the corridor still looks like how we left it.
You can see doors and you can see the bottom now. So it looks like it's not however it was.
Oh, we said down away from the fire. Down we go.
Yes.
It's getting quite smoky in there.
So
I think
plan.
actually, Beepo Beepo's going to close the door behind them. Don't suppose there's a way it could be fastened shut.
Yeah, I don't think that would be difficult. You could just kind of close it and wedge the handle up or something at least.
Yeah, I'll just wedge the handle and see how your illusions handle smoke inhalation, shall we, you little bastard?
John, you were saying?
My plan is to head down in search for basement because everyone keeps the good loot in a basement.
I like it. Well, as you come to the bottom of the stairs, it appears that Tereth is digging for a basement. I would like you, Slee, to make a scan as well, but feel free to roleplay your action first if you like.
Make a scan with a 2.
Okay. Never mind that, but you do see there is a trapdoor. There is to a basement, you presume, nearby to Tereth, a few feet away.
Is there any sign of Osric?
Osric is probably. I don't know. Are you cackling?
I think
Tereth
Osric is helping as much as he can to get this flagstone up in whatever way. Just pulling at it, maybe.
In that case, I will stand. I'm going to pounce on him.
Okay.
I'm going to pounce on him while he's distracted with the flagstone.
Given that's happened, before you pounce on him, I expect you maybe take a moment. You're like seeking and then getting ready to pounce.
Yeah.
You definitely hear Osric mutter under his breath, "Kill them, kill my companions, and take it all for myself." Osric, you don't say that, but you don't know this.
Exactly as I thought.
Wow.
I'm gonna pounce on him with my garrote.
Mm-hmm.
Try and
Yep.
get it round him. And as I do, shout, Beepo, we don't know if Tereth's with us or him. Get him!
I think that's Tereth. That's probably your action next. Osric, you're a bit at this moment to immediately act, I think. Given Slee's definitely caught you on, unexpected. I don't think there's needed necessarily a roll here. I'll tell you what. Now I will. That's a bit unfair. I'll give you a scan, Osric, to notice that you're about to be garroted. That does seem unfair.
Okay.
Do we do opposing rolls?
Yeah, I suppose it is an opposing. So scan versus your skulk.
Oh God, how do opposing rolls work again?
I think it's just whoever.
Yeah, most successes, I think.
Most successes.
I rolled 1 dice, but I rolled a 6.
Oh, I'm not doing well. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay, Osric, you're fully aware that Slee is sneaking up on you nefariously.
Okay. I don't know how Osric's gonna. I think Osric is going to kind of prepare himself for this attack, but like without trying to not let on that he knows, but be prepared to like get out of the way.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, you succeeded doing that. I mean, what is your? Do you just jump forward, or are you like kind of like trying to manhandle Slee?
I think I'm just trying to get out the way, and that because Osric was a bit confused, like why is Slee sneaking up on me? But then when they actually attack, I was just gonna be like, Jared, he's turned on us. He's been turned by the magicians.
This is what. So Osric has successfully dodged out the way of Slee's garrote attempt, and this was played out in front of you, Tereth, and Beepo in a moment as well. What does Tereth do first?
I would probably say something like, Slee, what in the 13 hells are you doing?
He set the skeletons on me. He's gone rogue, Tereth.
No, he just cocked up. He does that.
What?
What?
Surely you must
Occam's-
know by now.
Occam's razor does suggest that it's more likely that Osric would cock up than turn good.
I would like Beepo, Tereth, and Slee to all make me scan rolls, please. Sorry to interrupt the roleplay. I was enjoying that.
That's 4 mixed.
Okay. Tereth and Beepo, you both hear Osric muttering under their breath, "Soon they'll all be dead and it'll be mine."
Osric?
What? I did not cook up those skeletons. Okay, maybe a little bit powerful. But sometimes my magic just is stronger than I realize. That's you can see they killed the wizards right here in front of us.
Did you not just say you were going to kill us?
No, I would
You said
never
that
say
earlier,
such a
too.
thing. I did not.
You did. I heard you.
Slee,
Fine.
you're lying. You're a liar.
You're
How
lying.
dare you?
You're a liar.
You just tried to garrot me. I saw you, and Tereth saw it as well.
It's true.
Are you getting up in Slee's face as you say this?
Oh no, you're going
Uh,
to spit on him, aren't you?
I am.
I don't think Tereth is moving forward, but I think he's being like depends where Slee is, maybe. He's not backing away.
Okay.
You're a lying
Us.
garrotter.
You're a liar. You're a
Slee.
liar, skeleton man.
Slee,
Demon.
I'm going to play off your vengeful here. If you try and attack Osric now, you'll get a dark heart.
I mean, I was thinking about doing it anyway.
Otherwise, you have to resist because Osric is clearly the bad guy right now.
I think I might be close enough to just spit in his face. So I'm going to use my last poison.
Yeah. Okay. Time to resist again, Osric. I think that will
this might be the worst session any character I've ever role played has ever had.
I think this will be a finesse, probably to dodge it. Osric, you can do a finesse or a scam. You're muted.
I have some finesse. I have 2 dice in finesse, so I'll give finesse again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a failure. So I think I also take 3 stress. Sure?
No, this is an opposed roll. Sorry, not resist.
Okay.
I said resist first, but we won't do that because it's the two of you against each other.
Okay. Well, pure failures.
If it succeeds at hitting you, I might give you a resist because that is how the mechanic works. Because it's like dodging damage.
1-6.
Okay, so that has hit you. So now you can resist.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I guess I resist with the same thing. Finesse is probably the only way to.
Probably, yeah. This is just to be hit less by it now, I suppose.
I'll give
Not
it a
in the
go.
face.
That's 2 1s.
Okay, so 3 stress, and you only partially resist the effect. You still do even any attempt to resist does reduce it.
I'm at full. I'm not over my stress, but I'm at full stress.
Oh God!
Is that the same thing?
I think when the box is full, that's it.
I
It
think
says
that
when
doesn't
I
that trigger going feral.
I think that
Yeah,
triggers
when I click the last thing, it says feral with 2 exclamations.
yeah, that's definitely it then. Oh, this really is your worst session ever. Osric, you're having a
No.
good time. Okay, Osric, first
That's
of
what you
all-
get for betraying us by being terrible.
First of all of your brains are shocked for your next roll from poison being spat in your face.
Okay. Shocked brains.
So that is, -1 to any roll on those next. I haven't looked at the going feral rules very much. I think you have to immediately give in to your...
We're working through all of the edge cases
Yeah,
tonight.
aren't
This
we?
is great.
Yeah.
It says on the sheet
Yeah.
you're immediately compelled
You got a page for that, or is that just on the sheet?
This is the shortcut text on the sheet.
Okay.
Immediately compelled. Abilities used during this action cost no stress, so you can use your calling actions. There might be other stuff in the book as well, which...
Okay. Your compelled obsession. I think Osric. You were already obsessed with the magics in this place because you've been misled about them. Osric is basically convinced that your way out of this situation is just to draw upon the very evil magics in the stone itself to crush Slee in front of you. Probably starting with this stone below you, right?
Makes sense. A very powerful stone.
So you have to cast something, I'd say. In general, it doesn't have to be against Slee, but it probably will be.
It's going to be against Slee.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be... I guess I'm going to cast a kind of necromantic spell. There's one which is like life drain kind of thing, I think. So I'll try to do that against Slee.
That makes sense. But you do it via channeling via the ground.
Yeah, from the stone.
From the stone.
Maybe the umbrella stand if it's within range of my channeling. Who knows?
Perfect. That's going to give you the slight downside that it takes you a lot longer to do this. So Slee there's probably at least a moment, Slee, when you realize Osric is trying to channel something at you. Go on. Say what you're thinking.
It's just it feels a bit mean to try and stop him, to be honest.
I think Slee would, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Would. Yeah. Okay. We'll cut to the other two characters, knowing what's going on here.
I actually have a better necromantic spell that Osric would at least try in his rage, which is it's called Skeleton Surprise. The skeleton rips itself free of its mortal husk.
Oh God!
Dial right up to 11. Gotcha.
We're playing Wicked Ones. There might be scenes of unspeakable
I'm assuming this is at least tier 2, right? This
it is a tier 2. I would have thought also that it would be tier 3, but it's apparently a tier 2.
Yeah, there will be. I suspect Slee will have a chance to interrupt you before you succeed at this, since tier 2s take a moment of time. But make me a roll.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
I just want to know how your goes so I can kind of understand the situation. First of all,
I'm going to overload because that seems fun. It does mean any bad stuff that happens I cannot resist, but I'm going feral, so that seems appropriate.
I mean, can you resist anyway if you fall on stress?
I don't know, maybe not.
No. I don't
well, in which case...
It doesn't matter. You don't suffer any negative effects. Yeah, because you've gone feral. You cannot have stress effects anymore, basically.
That's 1-6.
Okay, that's good to know. Now I'm going to cut to everyone else as Osric is trying to channel this. Before Slee cuts Osric down in cold blood, Tereth and Beepo, are you acting in this moment?
I think Tereth might shout, "Osric, this is for your own good," and take the bottle of very, very flammable spirits that I keep on my person, fling it at the ground at Osric's feet, and then light it with some thing. I don't know, cigarette. I don't know what the lighter with flint.
So no,
cantrip.
Fine.
I don't know. Can demons do cantrips?
Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, the level 0 magic is just make a spark. So yeah. Your intention here is to set Osric on fire, just to clarify.
My intention here is to break Osric out of his murderous incantation.
I see.
The fire is purely an aesthetic choice.
Okay. Beepo, we haven't heard from you in a moment in this. So this scenario is playing out ahead of you.
I'm going to tell the kobolds, get the valuables to the boat. Anyone who cares to listen for a moment may want to know that there's a powerful illusionist in the tower.
Tareth, you are clever and aware enough to realize, make the connection immediately that might be what's been affecting things going on, given you are a conniver with what you've been hearing. I think the other two are far too distracted. But I think it's only time, since no one has physically restrained Slee, that Slee has a chance to act as well. Although you have seen the flames lick up at Osric, so I don't know how that might change your decision. If this is how Osric dies...
I'm
Osric,
going.
You're not blooded, are you, Osric? This is just...
Not yet.
No, okay.
I'm just shocked at the moment.
I'm going to throw one of my strange magical knife arrows. Wait, no. Will that?
They're the ones that move places, is that right?
Yeah. It's kind of undoing what Steve's doing. So maybe I don't want to do that.
I mean, Slee's thinking of vengeance. Doesn't necessarily mean Slee's thinking totally logically.
That's true. But if I were doing proper vengeance, I'd just hit him in the knee with my crowbar.
Maybe you do that then.
So maybe I'll do that, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Just gonna hit Osric in the knee with the crowbar. Okay, and you can't resist anything because you're currently max stress.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna give you. You're being hit in the knee with a crowbar, and you're being set on fire. So I think that's 2 negative dice for casting this. You already rolled a 6, though. Sorry, you're right. I should have done the roll second. You already rolled it. Could you roll it again with the 2 negatives? I was being unfair with that.
Okay.
Maybe I just wanted to know how it would go in a perfect world.
Okay.
Perfect world.
I now have one dice.
Possible to get a 6 and make Slee's skeleton explode out of their body.
It's a 4.
I get to
so
resist,
a
right?
Yeah, you would resist.
A mixed.
I think at a 4, Slee, you just feel violently ill and you get a shock to guts.
Oh.
I think there's an amount of retching going on at the moment you've hit Osric over the knee. Osric, you are bloodied. Between these 2 blows, you are badly injured.
Yeah, very fair.
It's worth saying you're still feral. Feral hasn't gone away. You're still kind of... I mean, I'm not going to say you're currently trying to murder Slee, because that's not exactly what feral is. Feral is actually obsessed for you. So I guess play that out how you will, if you need help.
I think, like... Tereth is also just set Osric on fire. I think even being feral, there's probably an element of the instinct to not be on fire being a pretty strong one. So I think Osric is going to sprint for the water to start off with.
That makes sense to me. I'm happy with that. So Osric just gets up and runs outside to jump in the lake. Tereth and Beepo, you're kind of cottoning onto what's going on. Is your plan to get out of here, or are you doing something else?
Yeah. Time's up. We've had our fun.
Yeah, I would tell Slee. I'd pass Beepo's message on if Slee is sort of out of the rage of vengeance, and mention that there are illusions. I'd like to just have one last quick look around. I mean, this has been fun, but it would be nice to take some sort of memento, if at all possible, other than the umbrella stand. So yeah, if I kind of a last look around.
Sure, maybe a scan roll. I'm going to assume that Slee and Beepo are heading out. And Beepo, it sounded like you were heading off with your kobolds straight to the boat.
Yeah, no, I'm behind the kobold. I've sent the kobolds ahead. I'm just trying to work out who I'm going to have to carry back to the boat.
Got it. Okay. Slee, are you planning on heading immediately as well then out, or are you?
I think I will give the trapdoor an exploratory tug.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Go
I
on.
failed with the scan round here. I got one and 3 again. Crap rolling tonight. Other than the
Okay, Tareth. As you look around, you realize you can't see the door out of the building anymore. Slee, could you make me a scan upon opening the cellar door?
Yes. That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. You see a staircase down and a torch underneath in there, and a chest at the bottom of the stairs. It looks like rather a well-adorned chest. Presumably, you dash down to check it out.
I prop the trapdoor open and jump down.
Yep. Get a treasure, or whatever it's called in this.
Hey!
I think you've
An
got another
actual
treasure.
piece of loot.
I think that's the second one Slee's got as well. In this, 'cause
Yeah.
you got one previously. So Slee is just the treasure finder. Tereth, how do you react to not seeing a door?
I know that there are illusions going on here. I would look around. Can I see any other characters? Did I see Slee disappear?
You saw Slee. Beepo, are you in or out of the building?
Probably hovering in the just outside the doorway. Let's make it interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you cannot see Beepo. You saw Slee go down the trapdoor, and you can see the stairs behind you up. That's all. You know the door was there a moment ago, and you could guess at where it was.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll shout. The illusion's still active. And then I guess I'll just sort of start feeling around the walls for to see if I can try and find the door, remember where it was.
Okay.
Try and.
Slee, I'm going to give you the option. You hear the warning about the illusion. It will take you a moment to grab treasure, or you can try and run for the door.
I'm going to grab the treasure.
Okay. You turn back, and the trapdoor slams shut above you.
I'm
Slee,
Hubris.
Tareth, you turn to see the trapdoor slam shut, and there's no one there that you can see. Sorry, John.
Can I test the trapdoor?
Sure. It's locked. Or at least it's not opening with a push, as you would expect. It appears to be the only way out as you look around.
I will get my lockpicks out and start having a go at it before I get more desperate.
I would say it's not a locked. I would say it's probably just a bolt on the outside because it's just a trapdoor in the floor. I think that's probably what it would be. It's not the sort of place you would have a keyhole to me.
Deadbolt on the top kind of thing.
Yeah, just a sliding bolt.
Okay.
Sorry, that's kind of mean of me, but I don't imagine there's a lock here.
I have an idea of what to do, but if you want to go to someone else
It's
first.
worth saying what are Tereth and Beepo doing, because Beepo's probably also noticed that something has happened.
So is Beepo outside the tower or outside?
Beepo's outside the tower looking at you, slightly confused perhaps.
No, I mean confused is pushing it. Beepo knows. I think Beepo's got a fairly good understanding of what the outcome could be. So, can Beepo see in clearly, and is everything pretty normal?
Everything looks perfectly normal to you. You couldn't see the
Isn't
trapdoor, but you heard something.
There isn't a suspicious extra figure kind of loafing around looking mischievous?
No one that you've seen. Give me a scan roll, I think, if you're considering it carefully, though, to be fair.
Once again, why am I so bad at having the basic things I need to do my job on? And that's a 6!
That's good enough. You don't see anyone, but after a moment, you notice just a bit of dust kicked up in the corner near the trapdoor, as if someone moved there, but you cannot see them.
I am going to use Oh, hang on. I want to use a system for this, and I've got exactly the thing for it.
Yeah, you're good.
Not
You
even all that.
think about your thing for a moment, because I want to know what Terra's doing as well. Are you going over the trapdoor, or are you trying to get out of here, Steve? Or are you carefully looking around to try and see if you can figure out what's going on, perhaps?
I think I might reach into my pocket and pull out a handful of ash that I collected from the vampire place.
Okay, yeah.
And just fling the ash across the room. Big cloud of ash.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to give you a scan with 2 bonus dice.
Oof, wow.
You'll need a good result to get clear from this. That's why I'm giving you lots of bonus.
Total failure again. 3 2s and a 3. This is. I've been cursed. Osric has cursed me. Clearly,
Your idea is fabulous. However, you can only cover so much of the room with ash, and there is nothing in that area of the room.
So Beepo, from out of his little bag of kind of defamed trinkets of faith, has got a particularly weighty one of a gentleman kneeling in prayer, probably made of lead, has just paused for a second, kind of sized everything up and thrown it right at the invisible bastard.
Love it. Okay, give me a finesse roll. That sounds fun. I love the description of the item you threw first. That was perfect. It could have been a rock. It had to be specifically.
Once again, having trouble tonight, and once again, another 5.
5, yeah, that's good enough. So there is a shout in the room as you can hear it hit someone, not an object. Tereth, you look over immediately upon the shout. You don't see anyone, but you see Beepo's object clattering to the floor. Sleet, are you like yelling or something underneath there?
I think I'm going to be yelling and banging, and I'll probably have my crowbar out and trying to wedge whatever this is open.
Okay, got it. Checking in the feral section, it does seem to indicate that you have the feral passes after you indulge. So I think Osric, you can come out of the water now and you can act. Upon coming out, you realize none of the rest of the group have come to the boat, other than the kobolds. I think they're on the boat.
And you do gain a dark heart, having gone feral, I think.
I think a dark heart will be bad for me. I already have 2 dark hearts, but what would that even do?
I don't think it does it unless you actually do it in Revelry. I think gaining a dark heart just does nothing for you now. So.
Oh.
Could have been even worse. Okay.
I'm going to say that a moment, this post-feral, a clarity comes over you and you start to realize that the stuff you put in the boat is junk.
The thing is, like, that seems good. But that also makes Osric think that literally every member of the party has betrayed him. Because Slee literally tried to kill him. Terra set him on fire and also encouraged this. And Beepo is responsible for lying about all this to begin with.
Osric,
I don't know how this would be solved, but I think Osric might just row off. Like, get in the boat. Like, fuck these guys. They're trying to kill me.
One step forward in this plan is the kobolds are also in the boat.
Okay. Osric is going to. I can't do anything really, can I?
You try and trick them?
Yeah, Osric is gonna. I was gonna try and cast a spell on them, but instead I'm gonna just try and trick them and say, Depot has said to leave. We need to get these items to shore immediately. It's what Malawi, I think, would want. For sure.
Roll a trick.
Can I, just 1 second, before you roll a trick, can I offer you a bonus dice? Because my kobolds are treacherous.
That's true. That seems like a very fair bonus dice moment. They're happy as anything to leave.
Okay, yes. And I also want. Can I spend dark hearts?
Yeah, you could spend a dark heart on this.
They're already dead, Osric.
Well, I have shock to brains, which is what trick is. So that's
Ah.
-1. Is that
Yeah,
right?
-1 on this roll. Yeah.
Okay, so this will be. It'll still be. I have 2 + 2 -1 3.
Mm-hmm.
Big dice.
Yep,
Was
me
it
too.
a 3? Okay,
What's
that's
that?
two 4s and a 3, so I'm mixed.
That's a mixed in this context. I mean, I think a failure would be they go running to Beepo and or some of them go running to Beepo.
I think that could be a mix because when they go running to Beepo, I'm rowing off.
Yeah, actually, that's fair. No, you're right. That's fair. But I think they wouldn't leave you with the boat because they'd be like, Beepo's trying to do something. So at least some of them would. But maybe enough of them go running to Beepo that you maybe think you could kind of shove them aside and start rowing off. That's probably what happens.
Yeah, that seems
like
mixed.
there's 2 left on the boat.
Okay, Osric's just gonna go for it. He's rowing off.
Just start rowing. The
attacked
kobolds
by
are just there, like,
kobolds.
one of them starts yelling, the other one starts like holding on, but they're tiny, so it's just being pulled around as you row. Give me a smash roll to see how fast you can row away. This is giving me an idea for what sort of time the others have to
Oh, I hope it's very, very slowly.
There's my shock goes away at this point. Not that this is a
yes, your shock is for 1 roll.
My smash is I have nothing in smash.
Mm-hmm.
So
remember to roll your practice, by the way. Folks have been rolling those this.
My practice XP. Yeah.
I just failed a 5 and a 3, so that's a failure. It's the lowest.
Mixed.
2.
Oh, roll lowest 2, of course. Yeah. So
yeah.
You realize you don't know how to row at this point.
I'm so tempted at this point to use my reroll skill.
Now, when you need to row, that would be perfectly logical, wouldn't
Put
it?
your back into it, Osric, for heaven's sake.
Exactly.
For God's sake.
Osric, you have not succeeded in getting anywhere. You're just holding onto the oars momentarily, kind of figuring it out. We'll go back to everyone else. I was going to say Beepo might have a chance if you turn around to see your kobolds running back, worrying that Osric's going to row away. But then you see Osric hasn't rowed away and it appears to be sitting in the boat.
Just having a moment.
Mm-hmm. I think Tereth's probably the first who's able to act to this shout. You're closest, Tereth. Slee's still banging on the door.
I think I'd like to take my poker and sort of thrash it in front of me in wide arcs and try to make it to the trapdoor. Can I see a deadbolt on the trapdoor?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to sort of try and like sweep the poker in front of me, try to make it over to the trapdoor and unlock it and open it.
Okay. As you're doing this, you can hear someone to your left from the direction the thing was thrown going, But presumably you're leaving that and going for the door. You happy with that?
Yeah, I want to get Slee out.
Okay.
It had gone through my mind that Slee might think that I'd shut the trapdoor and locked it.
Beepo.
I think Beepo's had enough. Damaged and upset and broken and scrambled and stressed as they are, this invisible bastard is going to die. Beepo is going to take the branch of Malawi with a fairly good idea of where this creature is going to head back in and unleash the fury of the ancients upon them.
Okay. I need you to make a scan roll, first of all.
I have no dark hearts left. That's a fail.
Your instincts kick in.
I'm definitely going to reuse my
apologies. Now, when wizards try to trick you,
yeah, I mean, there's going to be a whole lot of ash over a portion of the room. Tereth is going to be sweeping, so that should narrow down. You know.
But this is a scan to not be taken in by a trick. This is what
sorry, right,
with.
yeah.
So do I get the reroll anyway, or
yes, you get the reroll. Yeah, it's fine. This does work. You know, it's a very specific scenario. Terrace probably figured you were dealing with wizards. There might be strange illusions. You know.
once again, as if cursed, the 5th 5 of the night.
Okay. What happens is suddenly a massive chasm just opens up in front of you in the floor, and your mind seeks to stop you. You know, instinctively, you cannot run into it, but you overcome it. You know, you've seen this now multiple times. It's an illusion. It has to be, but it does slow you. You know, you have to overcome that instinct, and presumably you get to about where you think they were and just flail your stick.
Yeah, Beepo's kind of going to, I don't know, voluntarily enter into a state of unhinged excess, and just go a little bit lowercase f feral.
Almost like eyes closed is the solution to this. Just flail about like a maniac in all directions once I get near enough
Yeah.
to the
Well, no, in specific directions, but definitely well and truly attacking with all possible limbs.
Okay. I would like you to give me a finesse.
Okay.
It would have been a smash if you had succeeded, because I think some of your smash is better, isn't it?
It's not actually, but it would have given me the last point of practice XP I needed to make it as good as.
Ah, never mind. Well, there's still going to be another thing for having got a 5 for your.
At least it's not a 5, so that was a
4. Your stick connects with something, and with a crunch, you hear someone go "Arr!" on the other end of it, and the illusion disappears, and you can see a short, stout woman, the same one you saw upstairs earlier, with a drink in her hand, on one knee, clutching her leg as your stick has just rammed straight into her leg. And presumably you're going to flail as hard as you can to finish her off.
Yeah, I think so. I was maybe let someone else have a go with this. If I want sleeves, maybe might.
I think, Tareth, yeah, you've noted that the room feels normal now as well. And perhaps as you look around, undoing this deadbolt to let Slee out, you can see this woman crouched on the floor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd certainly, once I'd unlocked the trapdoor and flung it open, I would probably, you know, this has been fun and all, but yes, it's time to sort of, you know, bring things home. So I think Tareth would take some small pleasure in, you know, hitting this woman over the head as hard as he can, which isn't very hard, with the poker repeatedly, you know, in a Shaun of the Dead style manner,
Okay.
I think maybe.
Both of you make me one final scan roll. If you get this right, this will be the last one.
I got a 6.
Hey.
5 and a 6.
Beepo, you see 5 of this woman in front of you, and you do not know which one to hit, and you are flailing and you are flailing, and you don't seem to hit anything.
You see, Daddy, my kobold family called this a target-rich environment.
It takes a moment to hit this many targets, though. Unfortunately, you don't seem to have hit one that has anything to it yet. Tereth, nothing changes for you. You see the woman on the floor, looking at you worried, as if she was not expecting you to just walk towards her so easily. What are you doing?
I'm going to strike her with the poker.
Yep.
So, you know, leering, slightly smiling, mask, looming over it. Just yes.
Yeah. You just kill her. She's on the floor. She's unarmed. She's just wearing the cloak, and you smack her over the head and split her skull open, and she is dead. Beepo, the illusion disappears, and this woman's corpse lies in front of Terrace. That's the illusionist for you. They have no weapons. They just mess with your brain.
It was quite effective.
Nearly got Osric killed. Slee, you come up from under there with presumably some nice treasure and see this woman's body lying on the ground.
Can I check it over? Has she got anything
Yeah,
interesting?
that seems fair. Yeah, I think you can get a treasure on her body. We can decide later.
Lovely.
Adventurers do often have treasure.
And I'll also call outside. Osric, are you all right? Have you calmed down?
Osric, you if you wish, you may make another roll to try and row away.
100%. I'll give it a go. Can I finesse rowing away?
Go on then. I was deliberately doing a back smash to see how fast you went, but since your speed was 0, let's see a finesse for succeeding to row at all.
Give it a go. That's a 6.
Okay, first I want to hear Osric's reply.
What did Tara say? Have I calmed down?
You
I think that's what it was. I'm perfectly calm, Tereth. I'll be seeing you on the shore.
hear splashing.
Slee looks at Tereth.
Can I have a flashback?
Do you still have stuff to spend?
I've got 3 stress left.
Yeah, why not? What is this flashback for?
I was going to have arranged. Well, okay, I don't know. You can decide. Have arranged with my one of my friends, because I'm friends with a rock bandit. Doesn't have to be them, but just to arrange extra transport in the case of emergencies. So the idea is I just whistle, and then another boat would appear.
That's quite a big flashback. I think there's a lot to that. Go on.
Could I, if that's not acceptable, instead flashback to when I was going round the back to climb up a window where I find where whoever the wizard's servants, like shipping rowboats, are pulled up next to the kitchen entrance.
That's a reasonable flashback, I think. Requesting a whole boat that arrives to pick you up, that was a bit too much, Steve. I can accept that it's only like a 2-person rowboat. It's not big, so you ain't going to fit all the kobolds in it, but there's a boat. It's worth saying you might be able to dash out and catch Osric. He doesn't sound like he's very far away. Is anyone immediately dashing out upon hearing this?
That is why I'm looking at Tereth.
I will sigh and rush after Osric.
Okay, very well. It's worth saying, Osric, you do have like 2 kobolds feebly and ineffectively kind of just on you, just like, no, wait. Go on, sorry, you were going to say.
I will just say, it's what Beepo wants. You should be helping me.
But Master Beepo!
In fairness, I did say they were treacherous. So if it's what Beepo wants, they're probably a bit less fussed.
You're right. They're probably like, but and then one of them sits down and kind of picks up an oar next to you. The other one still looks a bit. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I think they actually curl up in the corner and go, "Oh, we're well in trouble. I'll get hit, but maybe we'll get away with it, and you won't get hit." Oh, and actually has a little conversation with themselves. Tereth, you're rushing out first. Then give me a finesse.
Okay. Oh God. Finesse is no dice.
Why isn't Slee rushing out first, John? Slee is clearly the one who should go and get the boat.
I was looking to Tereth to see if he'd give me a nod to say yes, go kill Osric before he runs away.
You can roleplay that scenario how you wish.
I will, as Tereth is running out, I will run after him though.
Okay, that's fine. You both give me a finesse roll.
Yes.
I rolled 2 2s, so I trip over the sodding paving stone.
That's been harmful. Perfection.
My highest is a 5 and 2 4s.
Slee also trips over the paving stone but doesn't lose their stride. I think your partial success means Osric is far enough. You cannot jump to you would have to swim to the boat. and that would depend how fast Osric rows. If you want to try and catch, it's only a 5-second swim. Maybe you could catch them. Osric, you see Slee jumping out after you.
I am a good swimmer. I'm going to spend a stress and use my ability to perform an incredible feat of agility.
Oh yeah, that just does it, doesn't
So
it?
I basically dive and I will grab the edge of the boat.
Osric's reaction.
I will pull myself up and I will go, I would be willing to perhaps accept the possibility that you have not completely betrayed us.
Well, I'm glad that you could join me, Slee, and I'm going home. I've had enough today.
Tereth will be yelling, Osric, you come back here right now. You're just embarrassing yourself. This is ridiculous.
I'm going home.
Slee, Beepo stood on the shore next to Tereth, kind of leaning on the stick for support, kind of sighs, does one last invocation, opens a door that you didn't know was there and cannot possibly exist, steps through it, and is gone back to the other side of the lake.
Now that is quite a power you've got going on there. Go on.
Yeah, so that's going to be my last stress of. I'm using my last stress of the action for the sake of some narrative flavor.
Is this what tier is it though? Because I'm going to make you go.
This is achieving something that cannot be done normally. So this is clearly a tier 2. However, because I am a zealot of Malawi, I can invoke tier 2 as though it were a tier 1. So just by spending a stress.
Absolutely. It's just for you. No one else can go through this, not the kobolds or anyone else.
Yeah. I got a 6, but actually it's a 5.
Yep, I'm happy with that. That exact thing happens. Beepo opens the door and disappears.
So hang on. So, right. Osric's on the boat. Slee's on the boat. Some kobolds are on the boat.
Yeah,
Beepo isn't anywhere.
Some kobolds have just watched Beepo walk through the door, and I think many of them have tried to follow you and just walk straight off the side of the island and into the water. And they're just like getting back onto the land now, and they'll probably just shrug and follow Tereth or something.
Yeah, I think so. I'd sigh, look around. Because there's the other boat. So there's Slee found a boat. So yeah, I think I'd probably just say.
Well, is Slee stopping Osric, or is Slee just like, Tereth will find their own way?
I think that Osric and Slee have now somewhat made up because we have not immediately tried to kill each other. Slee will pull himself onto the boat, take up an oar, and then almost as an afterthought, shout back to the shore, "There's a boat over that way!" And then help Osric row.
I would like Tereth's brief thoughts at having to take a small 2-person rowing boat with 9 kobolds and a significant amount of books back to the shore.
I think Tereth will look at the tower. Is it burning? Is the tower, or is it just
smoke is coming from inside it, but the tower does not seem to be on fire.
So look at the tower, look around, look at the departing boat, look at these kobolds, sigh, and say, "Mother told me there'd be days like this," and then gather the kobolds together and herd them to the boat.
Excellent.
And row home.
And you all eventually, in dribs and drabs, arrive back at the dungeon. Oh, what a raid that was. Just beautiful. Really brought you all together, party cohesion, planning.
Oh, Tereth is planning to use this as a learning experience for why sometimes telling lies is bad, and
My favorite thing is
responsible people should tell lies.
other than Beepo, who I think came out of this sort of without too much of a grudge. All three of the other characters have a grudge enough probably to stab each other at this point.
How is the unhinged murder rat the most effective member of the group?
Oh gosh.
Well, I mean, the unhinged.
Why am I the
murderer
voice of reason?
You, in some ways, you did kind of trigger all of this, didn't you?
It's
so
true.
Consequence,
Oh gosh. Cool. That is. I think I'm going to end our session before we get into Calamity or anything else because they'll be quite chunky. But we should do our XP.
Oh god.
So XP for folks.
See, I was helping you, Sam, because if you're blooded, you get reckless XP.
See?
So I
You
was helping you.
Very
I had
kind.
you in the center of my thoughts.
I was planning on if it got too brutal, just having Osric die there, and I was curious if the characters were willing to carry it out. I was really thinking I'm going to push Slee to kill you if we end up in the scenario, and I wasn't sure if John was willing. Because having players kill each other is so good.
What would be?
Who's the wicked one, really?
Yeah, I think we're learning
It's
why
wicked
the
ones.
inspiration for
They're meant
this
to be
series.
nice. And like, I think would that be I think that would be the first series player death on the channel. It might be. Wouldn't it be so cool if it was by each other's hands?
Yes, very cool.
No, we're not
Sam,
first, I suppose.
if
but I
my
don't
character died.
Oh gosh. Anyway, sorry. Wicked XP questions. You made progress on your master plan. You did. You gained books for your library. Good stuff.
Somehow.
Yeah. Joe, we didn't do dungeon scenes, so no XP for that one. You acted like a monster. I think this would probably be a clean sweep for all of you, but I'd like to hear folks' suggestions for their monstrous actions.
Well, either just leading Osric on and letting Osric just waste time and energy with ridiculous items, or setting Osric on fire.
Yeah, there's plenty of monster there. I agree.
Or killing somebody outright in cold blood.
I'd say the least monstrous of your actions was that one, to be honest. Particularly letting Osric's ludicrous situation play out was just utterly monstrous to me. With glee. Yeah, definitely monstrous XP. Who else has got a vote?
I will go for trying to take immediate lethal vengeance on someone betraying me.
Yep, that was definitely monstrous. Very in character. I enjoyed that.
I think that trying to rip Slee's skeleton from his blood.
Yeah, because I would say just the obsession of getting vengeance was kind of meh, but then specifically trying to tear their skeleton out, I think that counts as monstrous. I think Slee still doesn't feel quite right.
I think infiltrating a mage's tower by going up the latrine at high velocity and giving someone the full backwards toilet is not something that is unmonstrous.
The scene of Beepo coming out with just a little covered in the horribleness of that toilet chute. Oh, and then maniac eyes. Someone still with their trousers down, just kind of hobbling away from the toilet in sheer terror. I can't imagine a more monstrous scene, to be honest. If I could give you 2 XP, I would.
I'm so happy with people. I love them so much. If anything bad happens to them, I'm gonna pee.
Used your gear or supply. Tricky one. Now, did we have any what's the word I'm looking for? Extravagant isn't the word. Interesting uses of gear or supply.
I lobbed my little figurine.
That's true, you did. And that is listed on your gear list, is it? Good job.
It is indeed.
Absolutely.
I flung ash around. That was a tick from my supply to try and sort of reveal.
Yep. I'm happy with that. It was a use of supply. That makes perfect sense. And that was very innovative, I think.
I don't think I can keep getting away with just spitting poison at someone.
No, I
Well,
don't
I
think
did
so.
quite like spitting poison at someone and then gently guiding them out the window.
That was good. That was good. I agree. But I think that's more the action you did after the poison. The use of
Yeah.
the poison was the same thing you'd done before. So I'm not going to say that was innovative. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no,
You-
that's fair.
I think. Have you got any, Sam? I can't think of any for you.
No, I don't think so. I need to take a better look at my gear and supply list in general, but
Well, as Steve did,
It's-
supply is kind of anything you might have. recently
Yeah,
picked up.
you have to be really inventive to. There's no like suggestion list, so it's really a question of sort of.
Mhm.
Um,
Although I like what you did a lot, which was kind of think about what adventures you've been on lately. You were like, "Oh, Ash from the Vampire." I was like, "That's good. That makes me." So you can kind of think about what you might have been doing, over the last.
so clearly next time round, you have to find a productive use for an umbrella stand.
that makes
If
sense.
someone uses that, I guarantee I'll
Umbrella
get 2 XP.
I say we stick it by the front door and turn it into a trap.
Put an umbrella in it and it eats you alive.
Yes.
Oh, umbrella stand mimic, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So you've all done your practice XP yourselves if you got it, and Sam, you got a whatever it's called,
Reckless XP.
Yeah. Nice.
Good job, perfect. So I think that's us all done. I'm going to get into the next session. Will be blowback. I'm sure there won't be any blowback from this totally smooth and completely uninterrupted trick of a raid.
Look, there were plenty of tricks.
Yeah, lots of tricks going on. Glad they none of them were facing in a particular direction. We won't talk about which way the tricking went, but
Amazing.
Cool.
Absolutely. Everyone executed the plan. Unfortunately, we had one plan per member.
Osric's plan was just.
Now the umbrella stand.
So
Maybe through sheer coincidence, that umbrella stand is magic. You never know. You never
It's
know.
always possible.
Does Osric still think it's magic, or do you realize it's not now? I don't know.
I think he realizes it's not, but it's
Right.
like.
But whether you admit to that is another question entirely.
Mhm.
Special necromancy
thing
magic
is,
that none of you guys can understand that goes to a different school.
In umbrella.
Osric. I would like to. I'm going to insert myself into a scene with Osric when Bebo finally gets a chance to see the spoils he's brought back, because I have plans. I'm not letting this bit die.
Oh no, it's. I'm so sorry, Sam, that Osric appears to have been a foil for all of that, just the whole session.
I feel like either Osric or every other member of the group is going to die at the hands of the other.
Like honestly,
probably Osric. The odds are against him.
It's so perfect that usually you build like camaraderie in a game, and playing Wicked Ones, you're just learning to hate each other more.
I just want to know what happened in the last dungeon to cause its collapse.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, folks. Do we have any comments or questions or stuff to read out, John? This is definitely going to come up in Osric's quarterly performance review.
There's definitely going to be a debrief or yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tereth would totally do performance reviews. You're so right. I'm just need to sit you down with papers and
you can do
crossing legs slowly.
So, is there anything you think you could have, maybe done better in?
Yeah. How wicked do you think you were?
Osric very confidently. No, did great.
Flawless.
Yeah, I quite like this one from Steve about the book.
I hope it's a book on barbecuing. Yes. It would be perfect, wouldn't it, for Slee to discover new ways of cooking things? A book on just chopping up food, perhaps.
That would be revolutionary for Slee. That is it for comments, but I can't remember if we did thank yous and follows yesterday, but in case we didn't, thank you to Night Wanderer and Manwad.
Thank you. Cool. And I will do our little bit of telling tales then. So yeah, we are telling tales. We stream here on Twitch, but on YouTube, go check out our content there. There's absolutely loads of stuff to check out, including all the previous episodes of this if you haven't seen them already. We're going to be doing these every other Thursday for a wee while yet, maybe somewhere like halfway through now, until the whole world is wicked, I suppose.
Or we've killed each other.
Or you've killed it.
Yeah.
Perhaps more likely you've killed each other. We also do Simba Room on Wednesdays, which will be on next Wednesday. And we do Warhammer, which I'm also running on Mondays, which will be on next Monday. And we have a one-shot on Saturday at 3 p.m. GMT, which is going to be Troika, returning to Troika. So come check that out. Socials and media and Discord and everything down below. Please check that as well. Thank you very much for joining us, folks, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.